know how the CTs are connected to the relay. Either it is a main 1 or main 2 protection of transmission line, or main 1 main 2 protection of bus bar, or differential and REF protection of transformers and reactors. The CT connection will remain the same, and you can now directly identify how these CTs are connected, how these are parallel inside the switchyard. And paralleling is required not only for the main 1 and main 2 protection of transmission line, but also for the differential protection of ICTs and reactors if the base CTs are used for the reactor. And similarly, the paralleling is required for the main and tie CTs of main and tie CT if it is used for the backup protection of the transformer and reactor. Now we will start with the CVT connection. CVT is very simplest connection for your relay. Now you know that this is our line CVT which is mentioned here. Then in the later sessions we will know why CVTs are used, why not VT or PT is used in EHVAC substation. So this is a CVT. In this CVT or in any CVT used in power grid, there are only 3 cores, and these 3 cores are designated as main core 1, core 2, core 3, and in all those cores your CVT ratio will always remain the same, that is 400/110, because the secondary voltage will always be 110. Out of those 3 cores, core 1 and core 2 will always be used for main 1 and main 2 protection of transmission line, and core 3 is used for metering or check sync or synchronization circuits. Now in our case, this CVT, if you remember, this CVT is used only for, I have already explained that, only for main 1 and main 2 protection. That means CVT will be used only on the side where the transmission lines are connected, or transmission lines are coming to the substation. Only at that end you will see the CVT. Now again, this is the same thing. This is core 1, core 2, core 3 of CVT, and if you remember this, in the last session I have told this number inside a rectangle shows the page number that you have to refer. Now this is main 1 protection circuit. Refer to page number 9 or go to page number 9, and then you see that this is a page number 9 here, this page number 9, and if you see here, this line CVT supply, and it is coming from page number 7 that we were referring earlier. From that page we have 4 wires, R phase, Y phase, B phase and neutral. This FS designates the fuse, and this individual CVT wires are connected through a fuse directly to relay, and this is important, or this connection is required only if you are using a distance protection. If you are not using distance protection, then you don't need any CVT connection in your relay. Now this is very simple thing, CVT connection. Only you have to remember is that if a ferrule starts from E, that means it is for CVT connection. So whenever you see on a TV, and if you see that there is a ferrule starting from E or any number followed by that, like E311331, that means it is a CVT connection. Now after these two, we will refer to the next page, and in the next page, if you look at this block or this rectangle generally shows a relay or numerical relays. So from here the main scheme drawing starts. In this, the PSU, if it is mentioned, sometimes it is not mentioned also in some of the scheme drawing, but if it is mentioned, then it is simply means that power supply unit, and you know that any relay will have to be powered on through a 220 volt DC source. If you look at just one level above this PSU, you see there is 21 M1, and 21 is for distance protection and M1 is for main 1 protection, followed by some alphabets written inside a bracket, and this is basically the model number of the relay. That means this is a main 1 protection, main 1 distance protection, and the power supply unit of this relay is connected from, if you just trace this wire, this one side it is written as positive, another side it is written as negative. This positive wire, now if you look at here, there are 2 numbers in the rectangle. One number above this wire which designates this positive coming from which page. That means now if you refer page number 5, this page number 5, just 1 minute, this is page number 5, and that page was page number 10. So now if you look at here, this is page number 5. This wire K301, it is going to page number 10. This is page number 10. Where it is going? It is going to main 1 protection. Remember one thing that I have already explained in n-1 failure criteria, that main 1 relay is always connected to source 1. That means if you trace it one level back, then you can see that it is coming from board 1 220 volt control DC supply 1. These symbols, something like the dumbbell shape, this symbol basically indicates your MCB. So this is 220 volt DC source 1, and now this supply connected to main 1 relay through a fuse. And always remember one more thing. Up to this point we know the ferrule number A, B, C and D, that was for CT. Ferrule number E is for your CVT, and then the next important ferrule comes K, S and L. Anywhere if you see the ferrules which is designated as K, that means it is for the wires for trippings or for control, basically for controls, that is it is for tripping as well as for any binary inputs connected to relay. If a ferrule starts from L, that means it is for an initiation circuit, and if a ferrule starts from S, that means it is for event logger circuit. Now if you look at this page, then this is K301. K301 means it is a control DC supply or DC supply for controlling purpose, and controlling for which? Controlling for main 1 protection. Now you go to page number 10. This is page number 10. K301 coming from page number 5 connected to power supply unit. This is positive. Similarly for negative side also. Now another number which is written just below this line, and this is again a rectangle number marked as 12. If you see this number marked as 12, that means now if you refer to page number 12, you can see that this DC supply is extended from this page to the next page. Now if you look at here, that means again you see this is positive voltage K301, that means the positive DC supply, and it is coming from page number 10. K is again for control or for binary input, binary output, anything. This is for control. Nothing else for on this sheet to remember. If you are using any tapping, then we can use this same DC with some other ferrule number, that is for K303, K304, like that. But you don't have to remember these things. Only we have to be specific what we want from this scheme. Now from the very next page, you can see the various types of or various inputs and output of this relay. Actually this is a very old drawing. So in this drawing we will see the basic concepts of input output, but when we refer the more advanced or more latest scheme drawing, then you will be in better shape or better position to understand this input output configuration and understand how this scheme drawing can be referred. Now look at again this. This is a large rectangle in which there are some contacts. All these contacts are NO types contacts. NO means normally open type contacts. Similarly, if you look at this side, there are all but one which is NC contacts, and all other are NO contacts. Now there are some wires. If you look at this side, whenever you see something like this K10, K10, K10 at 3 different terminals, these terminals inside this rectangle shows the terminal marking of your relay. That means if this is a relay, main 1 relay, then at terminal 5x1, 7x1, 9x1, you have the wire K10. Basically all 3 are K10, that means you have looped all 3 externally, 5, 7 and 9, and it is connected to K10 wires. We will see on later on what is this rectangle 37 means. Now we will refer in this session only up to the first 3 output contacts. Now after this, basically this shows your output contacts of the relay, something like this. This is your output contacts of the relay. That means suppose this is a contact AB, and when relay operates, this is a relay. When relay operates, then this contact will change in its position from NO to NC, and now whatever the DC supply is present at this side, suppose this is positive is present, whenever this contact makes, that means relay operates, contact changes from NO to NC. Now this DC will be extended to this side. Similarly is here 5x1, 7x1, 9x1, you are connected to these 3 K10. We will see what this K10 means, what is DC supply. Now when this relay operates, this will extend the supply to next terminal, that is 6x1, 8x1, 10x1, and now it is connected to K3A, 3B, 3C. If you look at this designation again, K means it is a control wire, that means, and this is for output, that means this is an output control wire, that means it is going for some trippings of breakers or some 86 relays. Here, if you look at here, the one number is mentioned 37, that means you have to refer page number 37, and basically this is for 2 TC1 trip of main breaker, that means TC1 coil, trip coil 1 of main breaker tripping. Now we refer to page number 37. This is page number 37, and the last page that we were referring was page number 11. So this is page number 11, it was the last page. Now if you see here, what is happening is whatever contact is made there after operation of relay, that contact will extend the DC from this is the same exact ferrule K3A, 3B, 3C that you see here, K3A, 3B, 3C, and this is again the same K3A, 3B, 3C coming from page number 11, and it is going to protection trip. That means now this is circuit breaker inside the switch yard, so it is going to circuit breaker tripping. Now one thing that we have not mentioned in the last page, that is this 37 and what is K10 wire. Now if you look at this page number 11, and this is coming from page number 37, so if you look at page number 37, this is your page number 37, and which thing is going to page number 11? If you look at this, that was your positive DC, so this is K3. Now this K3 is going to your this page R3, just zoom here. This R3D refers to panel number, TB2 is TB, from that TB, this positive is coming from page number 5 like I have already shown, positive from TB2, it is coming to this point, relay one end of the relay contacts, and that one end of the relay contact is this K3, which is this wire. That means the positive which is coming from page number 37 to page number 11, this is a positive, and DC positive. Now this DC positive is connected to all these three terminals. Whenever relay operates, this DC positive will be extended to this second terminal, that is 6x, 8x and 10x. Now if relay operates, earlier you have DC positive here, suppose this is 110 volt, relay operates, you will get 110 volt at this point, that is 6x, 8x and 10x, or the ferrule number 3A, 3B, 3C. So that means you will get the positive at this terminal 3A, 3B, 3C, and now it is connected to the tripping of circuit breaker inside the switchyard, and finally your circuit breaker trips. So whenever there is a fault in R phase, only single contacts will operate, R phase will trip. If a fault is in Y phase contacts will operate. If a fault is in B phase contact will operate, or if it is a phase to phase fault, all three contacts will make, and their DC will be extended to tripping of the circuit breaker. Similarly, if you look at other output contact, there will be some contact for TC2 tripping of main breaker. Similarly, some contacts will be for TC1 and TC2 of tie breakers. There will be some another contact for the tripping of 86.1 and 86.2. Basically, if you are referring to main one, then it will be only for 86.1, and 86.1 is a master trip relay, and we will see why master trip relays are used in the later sessions. And for now, thank you.